DJs here. Why am I howling today? Because we're going to Lair Brewery. What the hell is Lair Brewery, you ask? Well, that's our buddy Paul at PABrewNews. That's his home brewery. That's right. So we're going mega local today. We're going to somebody's brewery in their house. That's as local as you get. This is where craft beer starts, with Home Brew. So, what beer do we have from Paul today? Well, we got his Magnum Opus. You may have seen Paul's review on this beer. If you haven't, watch Paul's channel. Watch his review of this beer and other ones. He does an awesome job. Anyways, what is Magnum Opus? Magnum Opus is a German Imperial or DIPA. It's been brewed once. The IBU on this, I believe he described as shitload. And the ABV is 9%. Now this is oaked, aged. It has strawberries in it, and it also has Sumatra dark roasted coffee in it. It's using, what is it, Magnum, Tinnitage, German Northern Brewer, and Cascade dry hopped. And it's got pale malt in it. Let me see if I can remember what else. Crystal malt and oats for mouthfeel. So there's everything but in the kitchen sink in this bad boy. I've got us a big half-liter German dimpled mug because I think that's what Paul would want us to use on this one, and this should be able to handle this wild brew here. If I remember correctly, when I opened this beer, or not when I opened this beer, when Paul opened this beer, it had a lot of carbonation and there was a lot of sediment in it. And when I look at the bottom, there is tons of sediment down bottom of said beer. So we're going to be gingerly with this beer. We're going to open it with our pry opener, not our percussion bottle cap opener today. And this beer is brought to us from where? Well, it's brought to us from parts unknown, the woods in northern Pennsylvania, I believe is, or northwestern Pennsylvania, US of A. There's mystery behind this brew. Let's get it popped open, get it in the glass, and see what we got going down. Please don't blow up on me. Big hiss. I don't see the genie popping out of the bottle or anything. I see plenty of carbonation in there. And I smell lots of hops wafting. Ooh, nice. Let's get in the bottle. Ooh, it's not filtered, that's for sure. It's plenty cloudy. As I'm pouring it, taking my time here, we're getting plenty of Headzilla. It's a home brew, so that's how home brews go down sometimes. Headzilla. Paul's got his lovely label made on the front of this one as well. Plenty of information on the back talking about the Magnum Opus, German Imperial IPA. And, wow, we've got a fist of head. Really tight bubbles, a little sudsy, sort of cola color bubbles, like that dark khaki color you get in a Coca-Cola when you pour it. They're dissipating fairly rapidly. The beer is cloudy, it's an unfiltered brew. I'm down with that, that's cool. It's sort of a ruddy river water color, or maybe a really dark sweet tea color, like southern sweet tea. Sort of a brownish color, reminiscent of a quad almost color that you would get. We've slowed down to about 3 1/4 heads here. The head's starting to break up on us. Now this is supposed to be at 9%. Let's see if we can swirl it. Dimpled mugs aren't great for swirling, but a little bit of alcohol egg. Oh, and I've managed to agitate the impregnate head even more and put another 4 fingers up, but oh well, that's how it goes. Let's get a nose on this one and see what we got going on. I'm getting plenty of the Cascade hops. Sort of piney. In the background, I'm getting some of that coffee. I can smell the wood in there as well, the oak. A bit tannic from that oak in the aroma. No alcohol smell. There must be a shit ton of malt in here because I'm getting a good amount of bready sweetness rolling off the back as the head dissipates, and I can roll a little more. I'm getting a little bit of hockey puck here. Yeah, it's an interesting smelling beer. I'm going to let that head die down a little more and give you a bit better assessment in a minute, and I'll be right back. Hey there guys, I'm back. Okay, Headzilla has died down. Let's get another aroma check really quick. Let's see, it's about the same as before Headzilla died down. And the difference is a lot more piney aromas are coming off of this. Now that the head's died down, I'm getting a better waft of what's actually in the beer. It's a lot of pine in there and malt in the background with a hint of coffee. That's the main thing I'm getting off, and it's got an earthy character to it. Paul talks a lot about that in his video as well, and I think that's coming from the pine and the deep resinous aroma of this beer. And he's into Fuggles hops and the aroma that Fuggles throw off, that earthiness, and I think he's achieved that with the Magnum and the Northern German brewers and the dry hop of the Cascade, that kind of combination. And it does throw that what he's talking about. So let's get a taste on this bad boy, see what we got going on. Prost. Interesting. It has a lasting bitterness to it, sort of like grapefruit bitterness. There's sweetness. It has an earthy aftertaste. That's what I'm sure what he's going for. It has that coffee bitterness and that roast in there. And then you've got a tannic aspect from the oak going on all at the same time. I don't taste the strawberries in there. I know they're in there because I've been told they're in there, but I don't pick that up in the taste. I'm not sure the date that this beer was bottled, but it still has a lot of active alpha acids in it because it has a pretty decent amount of hop bitterness to it as well. He must have dry hopped the hell out of this beer. It has a creamy mouthfeel for coming from the oats, but it's fairly easy drinking. As much as the carbonation on that head looked gigantic, that doesn't come through in the beer. I don't feel like I'm ready to belch or erupt or go crazy here. It's easy to drink. It goes down fairly smooth. It's a little unbalanced in the fact that it's a lot of bitter, and it's not like California IPA bitter. It's like that earthy soil sort of type bitterness that you get from a real deep resinous tone in a beer. And I think it could use a little bit more of maybe a sort of a caramel or a different malt or more crystal malt or something thrown in there to kind of counteract a little bit that bitterness. I'm sure this beer was pretty fucking bodacious when it was super fresh. And also it may benefit from a bit of filtering or racking off, another racking off, because it is quite cloudy. I'm sure I got plenty of yeast in this bad boy here. I'm getting my B vitamins today, but I'm down with that. I'm cool with that. For a 9% beer, I don't taste a bit of the alcohol, and it doesn't even really have a big warming effect going down for me. All in all, I think it's a pretty damn decent beer. Of course, Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, they don't rate this one. Why? because it's a freaking home brew. Of course they can't rate it. Anyways, what's Paul give it? Paul gave it an 8 out of 10. You know what? I guess that's 8 out of 10. I guess that's like a B plus, A minus. I'm going to give it that same grade myself. I'm going to go with a B plus. Really solid home brew. It has some shortcomings like all home brews do. They're all work in process. This is the first time this one was brewed. I'm sure Paul will tweak it, but for what it is, man, it's a really tasty and easy drinking beer. So check out Paul's channel. I'll put his info down in the notes section down there. Check out PABrewNews. Watch his videos. So anyway, till the next time, guys. This has been a little bit long one, but I like taking my time with home brews because that's where the movement started and that's what's important. So remember what I say. Think locally, drink locally. This is locals we're going to get. It's homebrew, baby. Support the craft beer movement. Keep this thing growing. Until the next time, guys, what is it? Oh, damn. That's a big